tender. Take the keys to my car. There's no place to go. I'm happy right where we are. 'Cause I'm a BarStoolTender, potential fender bender. You're a genius with a bottle and a blender. You're a star.
Hi, Steve Savage. Welcome back to the BarStoolTender. Pull up a stool. I am incredibly excited about this episode because today I'm back at Haberdashers, where it all began for me with craft cocktails. I was a straight whiskey person. I was a straight whiskey person when I walked in the door and ordered a George Stagg and a cocktail shaking, and the way craft cocktails were presented changed my life forever. And the jury's still out whether that was a good thing. So I want...
Looks happy to me.
I've always been happy about it. I want to introduce the proprietor, Cash Boren, who started this whole place. Why don't you tell everyone about the concept behind the bar?
Well, the original concept here in the basement was called Single Barrel. Single Barrel's concept was born off of my experience as a career bartender, having learned that people have no idea what they want to drink. Many times they will get exposed to something one of their friends drinks, or something you see in a movie, or a cool character on TV's drinking, like the old-fashioned Don Draper, right, in Mad Men. And so based off of that, they'll then start to pick drinks. And so I kind of took the reins away in Single Barrel. The idea was to force people to drink something a little bit better without being a snob about it. We've all been in front of a wine guy or a mixologist with their mustache, and them making you feel small because you don't know as much as they do, and it was something I really wanted to avoid. So I took the reins from people by removing all of the familiar. We took out soda guns, we took away cranberry juice, and you couldn't have highballs, which is a style of cocktail where it's one liquor, one mixer, real common in most bars today.
Sure.
Rum and cokes, and gin and tonics, things like that. Not that there's anything wrong with gin and tonics, just that we wanted to force people out of the comfort zone and make them turn to the bartender and say, okay, well then what should I have?
Well, see, that's the best thing, because I am hoping my bartender knows more cocktails than I do.
And that's usually the job of the bartender, the ones that are studying their drinks and their history. But unfortunately, say only 10 years ago, there were a lot less of the bartenders that do that than there are today.
Oh, yeah, and I've been in many situations where the bartender makes the drink and then pours a little taste of one of the ingredients, so I can taste it individually and then taste it mixed in that cocktail, because the flavor melts with the others and really creates the basis of the flavors of the cocktail.
Well, that's a part of bartending as well, as reading people, just based off of signals that they give and how they react. Some people are really up for something like that. Other people have no interest. They're there to interact with their friends, or nowadays, maybe look into their phone. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying that the people that are really into it, I've always been up for something like that. Maybe pour them a little taste of sherry if they're sharing their cocktail, because that's my new obsession lately.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, just because of the complexity and the wide variety of sherries available.
So tell me how you got into craft cocktails in the first place. I
Well,
mean, where was the turning point for you?
My whole life began in the bar. My mom bartended for a long time, cocktail waitress for a long time, so I was very comfortable in the industry. I was a bit of a rascal when I was a kid, so to keep me from getting in trouble after school, she would keep me around her workplace sometimes, and so I was really comfortable in the environment. For a long time, I was a product of my environment. I was soda guns, Red Bull vodka. I used to blow fire, set bar tops on fire, juggle glass bottles and all that kind of things, because it was me taking what I love to the next level. I was lucky enough to run across a company called Bar Magic, and they're out of Las Vegas. This is an old friend of mine from early in the Flair days. We first met in the mid-90s doing Flair. And he launched a consulting company that, it was just him doing his own thing for a while, and then he got on Throwdown with Bobby Flay. And his company exploded, so he needed a bit of help. And I was his first person to come on board. And through him, and watching him try and learn mixology, and then bumping into some of the folks at the time that were doing some great things. Charlotte Voicey, who was working for Hendrix at the time, I'm not sure if she still is. Simon Ford, who was working for Plymouth at the time, who I know he's definitely not anymore. They're doing their own thing with 86 and Company and some other great things, I'm sure. But I got to watch these guys make great cocktails, and the way they treated their ingredients, how they prepped fresh citrus and egg white, I'd never seen anything like that. And once I got a taste and I got to hold these cocktails, the regular cocktails were never good enough again.
So, what do you have? I mean, do you have something for one of those sherry cocktails that you're talking about?
Well, I do have a little something for that. We do make one on the menu called the Spanish Slipper, which uses Amontillado sherry as the base. Now, Amontillado sherry has a dark, nutty finish, but also a lot of acidity that smacks and gets your mouth watering.
Oh.
So I've got something that's pretty complex, but we'll have to pause for a second while I grab some ice.
Yeah.
For the Spanish Slipper. Now, this is a result of my obsessing over trying to base a cocktail off of sherry, which can be difficult because a lot of times sherry has tons of flavor but not a lot of body. So I added a few other ingredients to give it a bit more depth. One of them that really brought it forward was this Bitter Queen's Chinese 5-spice bitters, which I will warn you, the one thing I don't like is the hole on the top they have is way too big.
That is pretty big.
So if you dash it the way you do something regular, like this little guy here, you'll put in so much that it'll overwhelm the cocktail. So you're going to get a hint of the 5-spice, but you'll notice the way I dash the Regans versus the way I dash the 5-spice is very different. Otherwise, it washes the cocktail.
Okay.
I eat my jitas. Another thing we do for the commercial environment, you won't do a lot at home, is batching. You'll notice this says Spanish Slipper on it. That's because when it comes time, there's 5 ingredients in here. I have a pretty hard and fast rule when I'm talking to bartenders. 5 ingredient is your absolute cap for cocktails. Because it's easy to go 1 dash here, 1 dash there. There's a pretty well-known cocktail bar in Manhattan that I know some of their recipes have 18 plus ingredients, but they batch them out, right? So that you don't have to pull 18 things to make one cocktail, you pull 1 or 2. So instead of the bartender having to pull 5 things, they pull 1 bottle. And they're gonna pour just 3 ounces of it. Now you see the murkiness in here?
Oh yeah.
That is a result of our sherry base. Right? Sherry, unlike many of your spirits that you may be used to, it doesn't have a lot of clarity many times. Sometimes it'll be kind of murky, which is okay.
Right.
So we're doing a 3-ounce pour out of this batch bottle.
So, you're giving up the 5 ingredients that are in there?
Unfortunately, no. Half the reason is I made this cocktail up a year and a half ago, and most of it slipped out of my mind. So you see the difference between the 2 dashes?
Yeah, I sure did.
If you overdash this, it ruins your cocktail. Before you get to eat it, kind of thing. That is our Spanish Slipper. This will kind of take you a little bit on a bit of a ride. Very complex, shifting, but dry finishing. Dryness in a cocktail, I think, is key. If a cocktail's too sweet, it's no good. Salute. Talk to me straight, whiskey guy.
Oh my God, the layers of flavor are just incredible.
But you get that with sherry. The complexity sherry can bring to the table is one of the reasons why you'll find it all over the place now in the cocktail world. It just brings so much to the table flavor-wise.
Well, you know,
and texture-wise almost.
And the finish has layers in it.
When you let it sit on your tongue for a while, it just finishes and shifts and changes on you. That's
an incredible cocktail.
Isn't that fun?
Spanish Slipper.
Spanish Slipper.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Welcome to BarStoolTender. And thank you all for viewing. I hope you make this at home. It's a delicious drink. Cash, thanks so much for your time.
You can't make it at home. You got to come here to get it because I didn't give you the recipe.
And if you've never been,
to be honest, I kind of forgot the recipe.
You need to come to the Haberdasher in San Jose, California, and enjoy cocktails right here with Cash, with friendly folks who know exactly what they're doing with a craft cocktail. So thanks for coming. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time on the BarStoolTender.
'Cause I'm a barstool tender, potential first offender, and you're a genius with the bottle and a blender. Your style